Hello guys, so by now you know how can you create a new map, how can you create a new scene, and how can you customize your scene or your map however you want. In this video and in the coming videos we will focus on the content window and what can we do with our content. So as you see here, when you go to the content, you have the option to manage your content the way you want, and you can add or remove content, you can change the sharing, you can do so many things here that we will see in the coming videos. But in this video I'll just take you over all the things right here quickly to understand what every single thing here does. So starting from the top here, you have the option to view your content, and here you can view all the content. Here you can view your favorites, so you can mark any item here as a favorite, and when you mark it here it will show up in my favorites. And here you can view your groups, and in my groups you can view the groups that you created and you are a member of. And here you can view and search in the Living Atlas to search for any layer. You can search here for any layer or any data you're looking for, or you can filter using these categories right here on the left side. You can search by a country, you can search by category, you can search by the item type, you can filter your Living Atlas however you want. So let's go back to my content, and then we will go here and you can add items to your content from here. Of course, these items represent the map we created and we saved it, the scene we saved, and the layers we added to our map and we saved it as a feature layer. All of them show up right here. But add item, you can add any item from your computer, you can add zip files, you can add map package, you can add layer package, and you can add CSV file or any other files you want to upload to be added to your maps or to be shared with someone else so they can download it or they can open it on ArcGIS Desktop or ArcGIS Pro, and we will see that in the next video. Also, you can add layers from URL, like the same one we did here. We add this layer from a URL, so you can add an item from URL. If you have any layers that is published on ArcGIS server, you can add it to your content, so you can add it to any other map when you create a new map. And here you have the option to add an application. So if you have an application created, let's say a web app that we will see in the coming videos, how can we create a web app, or someone created a web app that you have access to, you can add it here so you have easy access to this web app or this application through your content. And here you have the option to create an app or configure an app, and we will see how can we do that in the coming videos. So after we create an app, because I'm the one who created it, it will show automatically on my content. And the next option here we have is to search. So if you have a lot of content, let's say maybe you have hundreds of content, sometimes when you work on some organizations, they have so many layers, they have so many maps, and instead of going and scrolling through all of them, you just search and type. So for example, if I type here free, it will filter any kind of content that have the word free on it. As you see here, it filters the freeways. And here you can customize how you want your content to look like. You can make it as a table, like how it looks right now. You can make it as list, so it will show up this way and it will show you the thumbnail for each item, or you can change it as a grid and it will show you the thumbnail for each item and who created it and when was the last time it was updated and how many views this map got. So maybe you change the sharing for an item or a map to make it public or for everyone, and when you come and open this map you will see how many view this item got. And let's go back and change it to table. And here you have the option to sort your items based on the title, based on the date modified, relevance to your search, based on the least recent or most recent. So that's the options you have in order to customize and list and sort your items. Here you can view or hide the filter, and the filter will hide this left window on the side. If we enable it again, we will see here that we have the option to manage our folders. So this folder right here is the main folder or the root folder. When you create a new folder, it will ask you what you want to name this one. So let's call it California, because we will add our California data that we created on ArcGIS Pro or ArcGIS Desktop. We will add it to this folder in the coming videos. So let's create a new folder called California, say OK, and another folder, we will call it Atlanta, we'll say OK. And here, this is the main root folder. You cannot delete this one and you cannot edit it, but you can delete or edit these folders right here. And when you organize your items to be in certain folders, if you want to view all the content, no matter which folder it's in, you can go to all my content and it will show you all the content you have in any folder. And then down here you have the option to filter your items based on the type, based on the location, date modified, date created, and use these filters if you have a lot of content and you want to filter them based on any of these options right here. So right now let's focus on this table for the contents. Here you can select all of them. If you want to do specific action on all of them, you can move them to a certain folder, or you can share it. Maybe you want to change the sharing for all the items. Maybe you want to delete all the items. You select them from here and you do the action over here. Or you can select one item and say, I want to share this one with everyone, and you say save, and it will ask you, this map is using one of these layers. Do you want to update the sharing for this layer as well? I will say yes, update. And now my web scene been updated to be shared public. And here it show you an icon for each data type. So this is the icon for the web scene, this is the icon for the web map, and this is the icon for the feature layers. And in the next video we will add different type of items, and you will see that this icon right here will change based on what data type we added to our content. Here it show you the type name, and here it show you the sharing. If it's shared with the public, it will be a globe icon. If it's shared privately, it will show this icon. If it's shared with certain groups, for example, when we create groups, we can assign certain content to certain groups. So if I click here, you'll see that I have one group, so I can assign this item to this group, and when I say save, you will see that now this item been shared with this group and public. And here you have the option to make this item favorite or not, so it show up in your favorites. And you can make any item exist on ArcGIS Online or on Living Atlas as your favorite, so you have easy access for it. So let's go to Living Atlas and choose any kind of data here and say I want to make this my favorite. And now when I go to my favorites, it will show up here. So now you can have easy access for it. And at any time you can come here and say remove from favorites. So let's go back here again. And then here we have this extra options, and based on what type of data you are opening this list for, it will show you different options. So for example, in the web scene, it shows us view item details, and it shows us open in scene viewer or open in ArcGIS Pro. For the web map, it will have extra items. Here show item details, open in map viewer beta, open in ArcMap, open in ArcGIS Pro, open the presentation, or edit the presentation. And now we know what is a presentation and how can we edit it. And for the feature layer, you have the option to open in map viewer or open in ArcGIS Pro, or add it to a new map, or view the item details. And we will go through all these options in the coming videos. And here it shows you the last date it was modified, and that's it for an overview for when you open the content for the first time. If you have no content, how it will look like. If you have some content, what each thing do in this table, and how can you add content, how can you go to your favorites, groups, Live in Atlas, organize and manage your folders. This is just an overview for how can you manage your content, and in the next video we will see how can we add items and what kind of items we can add to our content. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.